Across the world, there seems to be increasing evidence to show that there are rising threats to media diversity in different countries. If the news media is considered the oxygen of democracy, I would argue that media diversity tends to tell us something about the quality of oxygen in democratic societies. Since the advent of private TV news in India from the early 2000s, the state seems to have rescinded its role in trying to protect media diversity. So, for example, there are absolutely no regulations on cross-media ownership in India. We also see, for example, that the state is involved in patronizing certain news outlets through their advertising spend here. This, for me, provides very strong disincentives for those news outlets to cover a broader, a diverse, if not a more critical representation of activities of the state and state policy. The online news media is highly dependent on big tech. In India as well as globally, there has been increasing concern about whether news outlets, both traditional large legacy media outlets and small native digital news outlets, are able to get a fair share of the advertising revenues online that they are able to generate along with big tech companies here. This, for me, in a sense, the idea of not getting a fair share of their revenues is something that directly impacts the sustainability of online news outlets, and that also would translate into a relatively high amount of risk to the diversity of content they are able to circulate. We're also seeing that a small number of news outlets are able to command a very large share of audiences. They're able to garner a very large share of advertising spend in news markets. We are seeing increasingly, of course, vertical integration happening across the print, broadcast and telecom industries here. So not only is the largest telecom operator one of the biggest news broadcasters in India, but we are also seeing that news organizations which are dominating the print world are also now increasingly dominating the world of online news.